Okay.
Excellent.
Yes, I can press
Great.
yes.
Minasan, konnichiwa. We are joined today for another awesome episode of Am I Streaming or Am
Wow.
I Dreaming? The Tuxedocast. And my amazing guest today is Masako-san. She is an
Ah!
amazing, beautiful acro yoga teacher, and she is teaching
Wow,
classes
thank you.
in Kobe, Osaka, West Japan area. And I've got some amazing questions for
Wow.
her. Masako, welcome to the
Hi,
podcast.
thank you so much for inviting me.
Hmm.
Hi.
I really want to know, how did you first start acro yoga?
Okay. At that time, I was living in Tokyo. It was like 2016, I guess. And I was just doing yoga regularly, going to take the lesson. And one day I was checking Facebook, and then suddenly some event page shows acro yoga, and I thought, what is that? And I saw the picture, and it looks so cool. People are taking the pose on somebody's foot or hand, and I was very interested in it. And then I checked the date, and then it happens near my home. I was living in near Shinagawa, and it happens in Shibuya. So I thought, oh, I can go, and then I joined Acro Jam. It's kind of practice place, not a lesson, just get together and then enjoying together. Yes, I went to Jam one day, and at first I thought that because I have been doing yoga for many years, so I thought it might be easy because I can take the poses. But actually, it was super difficult just being plank on somebody's hand and foot. And I said, oh my God, what is this? Why I can't do this? And then I was struggling, but I was also very, very interested in, and I wanted to get better more. And then I was really fall in love after.
Wow, that really sounds amazing. Are you originally from Shinagawa, Furusato?
I know I'm actually from Osaka, Kansai area, but
Mm.
I had my work in Tokyo that time, like only short period, like 3 months or 4 months.
Wow, Osaka is such a beautiful place. So, when you were in Osaka, did you then first try yoga and then you became a yogi?
Yes, actually, I used to live more longer in Tokyo area. I started yoga in Tokyo area, and then I had to go back and forth from Japan to Hawaii sometimes. And then I also took a lesson in Hawaii, Maui Island. And then actually my teacher is from South Africa.
Really? I had
Yes,
no idea about that. You really traveled a lot and learned different things. How
yes,
was
yes.
your experience in Hawaii?
Oh, that was very beautiful and a lot of nature. Especially I was staying in Maui Island, different from Oahu main island. And then a lot of local people and the beach is very close. And yeah, that was very nice. And then a lot of birds, animals, and then more nature. So it's beautiful country.
That sounds like a great place to learn yoga. Do you remember
Yeah.
who your yoga teacher was at that time?
Yes, yes. She's still in Maui. Her name is Karin, and she had a very accent, very special accent, South Africa accent, English. That was interesting to me. I cannot tell. I cannot copy her
Hmm.
accent right now, but
Hmm.
yeah, everybody said her accent is from South Africa.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So just like me, that's that's probably how I also sound.
Yes, so your English
Wow.
is very familiar to me with accent.
Great. Your English accent has got some very nice accents in different places. Do you
Oh,
mostly learn
really?
English in Hawaii?
uh, Actually, I learned English in Canada and then also in Boston. I went to language school there, and I used to be a flight attendant at American airline company and then also European airline company, Royal Dutch Airlines. So kind of mix. I don't know. I cannot tell, but
Wow. So travel has always been a big part of your life and going to different places
mm,
and doing. Mm,
yes, I guess so.
you're
Yeah,
a real traveler.
I used to. Not now, but
So, when you first started yoga, was your personality at
ah,
that time perfect for yoga? So, eating healthy, fitness, was that always your type of personality?
no, I have never tried yoga. After I finished my contract with for airline company, I thought I want to do something, and then my friends told me, "Oh, there is a hot yoga studio, and then it's very nice. You can get sweat a lot." And then so I tried it, and then I also fell in love hot yoga. That was that was
Mm.
Japan, near Tokyo, Yokohama area.
Your story is so interesting. From
Thank you.
flying on a plane to an acroyoga flyer.
Mm,
Onaji,
mm,
onaji. Wow,
energy.
wow.
Yes.
Very interesting. So I need
Thank
to ask
you.
you for any
Yes.
foreign people watching, do you have an osusume, a recommendation for a good thing to try in Osaka?
Okay. Osaka. Let's see. Maybe I'd like them to try Osaka food, local food. It calls
Mm,
okonomiyaki, kind of Japanese pizza.
mm,
Very good. Very
mm,
tasty.
mm. But because you also stayed in Tokyo, do you have
Mhm.
Tokyo osusume?
Tokyo osusume. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, maybe sightseeing. They can go to Shibuya. It's very famous with the clothing street. A lot of people get together and then going spreading everywhere after a few minutes. Always hectic and there's so many people, a lot of travelers and a lot of local people. That is, yeah, one of the maybe foreigner want to visit someday, I guess.
Great. And because you have acro classes in Kobe, do you have a
Yes.
Kobe osusume?
Kobe, I think maybe many people have heard about Kobe beef if they are not vegetarians. So I'd like them
Mm,
to try Kobe beef.
famous around the world.
Famous,
So,
yes, tasty.
so after your acro class, people should go try the Kobe, the
Kobe,
Kobe
yes,
beef.
yes, it is.
Excellent. So, long time ago, when you started acro yoga, then
Yes.
moving to now, how have you grown in, I don't know, skills and mentality? Have you
Oh,
felt a change?
oh yes. So first I started acro in Japan, and after 3 months, I went to Maui. I went back to Maui, and then I practiced with Maui local people, and then their skill is very different from Japan. And then so I practiced with them, and then came back to Japan, and then practiced in Japan, and then I went back to Hawaii again, and then after that I thought, oh, it's very nice, we can practice with Japanese people and then also foreign people. So every time I travel, I always check on Facebook if they have the acro community. So better to check the city name and then acro, type it, and then maybe everybody can find the local acro community. And then so I have been to Bali and like Singapore, and then always practice with local people. And then I think more skills I got from them.
Mm. I saw your Instagram video about your trip
Oh,
to
thank you.
Bali and your trip to Canada,
Oh
and
yeah, thank you.
you often do very, I know, challenging, high level
Ah,
acro yoga flows. do you have the type of personality that loves challenge?
Yes, so foreign people, they have more skilled and then they always push me and then lift me up. So because Japanese people are not so tall, so I can try something more a little bit advanced thing with foreign people. And then last year I went to Canada, Vancouver, to take a Vancity teachers training. Vancity is one of famous acro group in Canada, Vancouver, originally based in Vancouver. So I took their teachers training and then so more like flowy. I prefer not only one pose. So maybe some people think about acro as just a pose and then taking the picture. But for me, like going, moving is acro for me. And yeah, that is the style I love to try in acro.
I think so. When I first saw your flow and movement, I thought you used to be a dancer as dance and no, wow, you just acro yoga. Wow.
Yeah, I used to when I was a kid, I took the ballet lesson a little, but I was not really good at it. And then I just quit. After that, dancing, singing is not my strong point.
Maybe Japanese standard of good is a little bit higher, but maybe for other people, your standard was pretty good because I feel like I see some dance in some of your acro and some of your flows. And
Oh, thank you.
I saw you love to do the movement challenge with your friends from Canada.
Ah,
Please, can you tell me
mhm.
about that?
Oh yes. And right now, my passion is movement flow. That is similar with yoga, acro, but it's totally different. Like my teacher is from Canada. Actually, he's Russian, and then right now he's in Mexico. His name is Slava. He is my acro yoga teacher. He started. He's the founder of Movement Flow. So he set the many movements, and then we connect them together. So moving the body, so our body is designed to move. So our joint and the muscle and bones. So we are originally made to move. So why don't you move? That is what he says. So I will try to keep moving my body and then I try to explore what my body is capable of. It's very interesting. It's my passion.
Wow, you look so passionate when you are
Thank
doing
you.
it and seeing your community of many different friends. And as one thing that I like so much about acro yoga is the friendship that you
Mm,
can make. It's not all competition. Like you can
mm,
get better and improve, but no competition. Just
mm.
helping each other a lot.
Right.
And
Yes, right.
I find that all so interesting. And Masako, you are a very beautiful woman with very beautiful flows. How did you get all this flexibility and the ability to hold yourself if you weren't doing dance or weightlifting or gymnastics? Where is it coming from?
Oh, thank you so much. Like I think I was a little bendy, um, maybe from my ballet lesson in the my childhood. But actually, after I started yoga and the acro, I got more like a little bendy, and then I can move my body. And then also, since last year I started movement flow, it's not only flexibility, not only the muscles. So I'm building up my flexibility and the strongest with the movement flow, I think. And always like other people, if I see other people moving and then they inspire me a lot, and then I think, oh, I want to try this. And then when I just copy the move, it doesn't happen at the same. So I want to keep building up my flexibility and then my muscles more. So I try to keep training. I don't do lifting or I don't do weightlifting or anything, but I just keep training.
I see. I was surprised when you could base me, because I'm a bit of a heavy
Oh,
guy, with no problem. So it really feels like you get better little by little, just doing a little bit every day. So I have to ask, acro kaizen oshiete kudasai. How are you?
ah, no, I think you did great because you based me a lot, and then you were great.
I
So
see.
yes, so keep practicing, and then keep inspiring each other because acro is a partner acrobatic movement. So not only one person is better, and then we always communicate, and then how to make the pose better or move better. We have to communicate together, and then we can build up our strengths together.
I
That's
see.
a very good point for acro, I think.
Communication is best.
Mm-mm.
In
Yeah.
your opinion, is it better to train with one partner a lot, almost every day, or try many different partners? What is a better way to learn?
I think, yeah, if the situation allows, and then if you can, practice with the partner together, and then it makes it easier. But sometimes it's nice to practice with other person because our body is different, and then our size is different. So it's always good to practice. But since the COVID situation is not really allow us to, find the other or communicate with other people, different city or some other places. So it depends the situation, I think. Like Daniel, I think you talked last on your video.
Mm,
He has been practicing with the same partner most of the time, and it's amazing. But always nice to practice with different people, I think, if you have a
mm,
chance.
if you have a chance. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Daniel's acro, I think, especially during this lockdown period, his
Mm-hmm.
abilities almost doubled. Now two flyers, no problem.
I
And
know, I know.
I'm trying to find his secret. How did he do it? It is um,
Oh
really, really
no,
great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So like during the COVID situation, in many countries they cannot, have acro together. So I think that's why most of acro people try to take the lesson of movement flow because we can move by ourselves and then we can do it online. So I have been seeing many acro yogis trying movement flow, and then we can build up our body, and then uh, our our body system is getting better. Then when they go back to acro yoga, then we can move our body better, I think.
Have different types of training.
Yes.
So you teach acro, beginner acro in Kobe, and your teacher, Mr. Slava, he's Russian, lives in
Yep.
Canada but is in Mexico now.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, what makes a good acro teacher?
Yes, that is a good point. Good question, I think. So each there are several different acro organization in the world, I think. And then what I like City is therefore most of the most of people think acro is man and women thing, and then the guy based and then the girl flies. But City is from two guys. Both of them are very big and tall, but they can fly and they can base. They switch the base and the flyer sometimes, but they can fly and then they can move. So that's amazed me more. And then so it's not only women can also base and then we can switch. The guy can fly. So their style is let us know our body can do more. That's what I like their style. And then, so everybody has a different opinion and then type. So maybe we can find the which style we like. And then the great teacher, what I like them is they always try to take their possibilities. And then when I took their teachers training, they even like the small base, and then he can say, "Oh, you can do this, and then you can do more," and then they never say no. They always give us the opportunity, and they make us, feel better. So that was a good teacher, I think. They never say, "Oh, you cannot do this," or you shouldn't do this. They always, let us motivate. So
Mm,
I joined their retreat and then teachers training, and then I thought I like their personality. Let us make our their students happy. So I think that's a very good teacher.
excellent. I think that's where you learned how to base heavy guys like me. I see. I see. I found that so interesting that you mentioned that the women can also do a lot of the basing and the men can also do some of the flying. And I think, wow, what an interesting challenge. Now, what, in your opinion, makes a good base?
Mm, good base. Yes, very supportive, of course, and trustworthy because for human, we always stand our foot. So we are always comfortable to standing by our foot. But when we do acro, our foot is lifted and then we have to trust the base. So the base has to be very, very stable and then trustworthy. If we cannot trust and then the flyer feels like scared and then very protective. Like the base is the person who can, save the flyer without the spotter if we don't have it. And the spotter is normally we help and support outside of the base and the flyer, but the the base is the primary spotter for the flyer, so it has to be very, very trustworthy.
Mm, true. I totally agree. What about a good flyer? What makes a good flyer?
Good flyer. Good flyer always also be trustable for the base, and then needs to know the move, and then also very how can I say uh, good for communication because communication is very important. Flyer has to trust, and then also the base has to trust the flyer where she is going, what the flyer he or she is doing. So very good communication and then also good to know for the move, I think.
I really, really see your point. I have met a few different people in Japan who love yoga, and it
Mm.
seems like yoga is very special in Japan. And you've done yoga in Osaka, Kobe, Tokyo. I'm sure you've even done yoga all over Japan. In your opinion, what is the reason that yoga is so, this Indian culture, why is it so popular and important in Japan?
Ah, I see. In Japan, it's still many people think yoga is for women's thing. Actually, it started in India from for men, but most of Japanese people think yoga is women's thing. And some yoga studio doesn't accept men, only for women.
Wow.
It's very I don't know why, but and then I think yoga is not only the physical movement, it's also for mental thing. And I think Japanese Zen spirit, like Buddhism, is close to yoga's spiritual thing. So keep calming and then be in ourselves. That is also related to Japanese uh, Buddhism, I think.
Maybe. I'm still trying to understand the reason.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And for me, it feels like yoga, at least in the yoga community, is a lot about health, beauty, and fitness, and with
Mm,
connecting with other people, also connecting with your body, and maybe just my opinion. I'm still asking more people about it, but it feels like many of the things that Japanese people love, yoga has got. And I I think I need to visit more acro communities. Have you visited
oh
most of the acro or maybe most of the yoga communities in Japan?
yeah. Actually, not really that much. Not really that much. Only specific yoga studio. And then right now, maybe I have more friends like yoga community in my city because I have more like, friends instructor. I know her and then I know that instructor or that kind of community, I think. And then well, I don't visit so many yoga studios, sometimes only one or two. But every time I travel, I try to check many other studios in that country or in the city I visit, like in Thailand
Mm.
or in Singapore or in Bali. I'd like to know what kind of lessons or what kind of teacher they are teaching. So I like to, see the difference of Japan and then other countries.
Really? Because when I met you when you were visiting Matt's
Oh yes,
acro session, and then
yes.
the day after you were going to another yoga session, I think in Nakameguro, and I was like, wow, this is a traveling yogi. She's here, 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 always moving, trying different yoga with different people. So my impression of you was you were a traveling yogi. Also on the internet, on Facebook, I always see you tagged in different acro events. I think the acro meetup in Okinawa, you were there. And I was like, oh wow, she really loves her yoga. But I think it's part of you traveling and connecting with many different people.
Yeah, I guess
And
so. I guess so. Yes.
I'd really like to go into detail about your love
Oh
and
yeah.
passion for travel. Do you
Mm,
remember your first time leaving Japan? Where did you go?
I think maybe I think with my mom I went to Hawaii. That was my first travel abroad. Yes.
You were like really, really young that time?
Yeah, I think so. I forgot when I was there, but yeah, maybe junior high school or something. Not really very young, like 3 or 4 years old.
Mm, how was that, or how was the first day when you were in a different country? How was that feeling?
Oh wow, very excited. Of course, Hawaii is very, warm area. So the temperature and then the sky and then the atmosphere totally different. I was so excited. I remember the smell and then the sense and then the sun. I remember those things.
Wow. And how was the first time seeing so many foreign people running around?
Well, yeah, very different. But actually that time in Hawaii is filled with more Japanese people. Everywhere I could hear Japanese and then Japanese signs a lot. So I felt
Mm,
it's kind of still Japan.
okay. What about
Yeah.
your trip to Boston? And the first time you
Oh,
got there and you hear the Boston
mhm.
English, Boston food, how was that experience?
Yeah. That was my I think when I was a university student, I went to the summer holiday to take language school, and then I
Mm.
went there by myself, and I stayed American host family, and they were very different. And then I have to figure out which subway I had to take, and then I hear the Boston accent, like the train stopped saying something,
Wow.
but I couldn't hear it. That was
Yeah.
a very different experience, I think. And then, but I have to get used to know how to get on the train, how to go to the school, and then how go to get the food or something. That was very very
Mm.
good experience. And then I think I also learned more English that time.
Yeah. I think Boston is a good challenge. If you can learn Boston English, the other accents will feel easy.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think so.
What kind
Yeah.
of food were you eating in Boston?
I I don't remember, but I was cooking at home mostly.
Mm.
Vegetables and also sometimes host family cooked for me, and then sometimes I cook Japanese food for them.
Mm. Mm. Really? Did you make
Yes,
gohan and natto for them?
I didn't do natto, but I did nikujaga. Do you know nikujaga? Meat
Oh,
and
very, very
potato.
famous. Mm.
Oh yes,
It
yes.
sounds like the famous singer Mick Jagger. So when I hear Niku
Oh,
Jagger, I think Mick
nikujaga,
Jagger.
yeah, nikujaga.
So I love both of them, the music and the food. Both
Good.
are amazing.
Wonderful. Yes.
Wow,
Amazing. Yeah.
staying with a host family. So you really are an
Yes.
international person.
And then
And
my roommate is from Venezuela and then France, so I had to communicate with them in English also. So it was
wow,
challenging, but it was very fun.
wow, very good way to meet
Yeah.
different people.
Yes.
And I saw your really amazing post in Bali where you did a standing acro flow. How was your trip to Bali? It looked like a postcard.
That's amazing. I really want to visit Bali again. So Bali is an island, and then there's two places actually we can do acro in mountain in the forest, and then one more is in the beach near the beach.
Mm.
So
Ubud.
everywhere, if you take the picture, Ubud, yes,
Mm,
Ubud
mm.
is, yeah. And then they have the very very nice acro community there, and then they are more. And then I think a lot of foreigner acro people get together in Bali sometimes. So I can see more American people or maybe from Europe. I could meet more people in Bali for those acro people.
Mm.
And then they are
Interesting.
very skilled. Yeah.
Mm,
And
mm.
some people are very good at standing acro and standing and lifting or on the shoulder and then some people are very good at elevating, laying on the floor and then lifting the leg like, above the hip.
Perfect. You did a very nice standing flow. I don't remember who it was with. It was a standing flow, and you started with
Mhm.
um, on the floor. Do you remember doing that flow?
I think that's lava. I think that was near the pool, by the pool.
Mm,
I think
yes,
that's
yes,
what you
that is
see.
it.
Oh yes, 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 yes. That was in Thailand. That
Oh,
was
not
Thailand, and
Bali?
then Ban
Oh,
City.
my
Not
mistake.
Bali. That's Thailand. No, 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 no. And then that was actually Ban City acro retreat.
Mm,
That was amazing. And then they taught us three different moves, and then we combined it together. So started from the floor, I'm landing, and then I grabbed the neck of the base from
yes,
like this,
yes,
and
I
then
remember that.
he's flipping, yeah, and then going up to high bird, and then he's spinning me around, and then going down to the floor. That was
Oh,
very
wow.
very interesting
You
floor.
need to teach that to me. I tried it, but I couldn't do
Oh
it,
yes,
and I was so embarrassed. I thought, but it looks so
no, no,
easy on
no, no.
the
That's
video.
I know that looks easy, but that's not easy. Yeah, so the first move is also difficult. Also, the base has to lift up, and then the flyer has to pike more. So maybe need a little flexibility and then timing.
And the Fukin, the abs, really.
Oh yes,
Yeah, I think so. Oh,
yes,
probably.
yes. I also tried with some other people in Japan, and then we couldn't make it. I think it's because Slava, he does it. He did it so easily.
I think
Everything
so.
is
He's very
amazing.
experienced and he makes it look easy. And sometimes you can't see the special Hitsuyoi things you need to do. Mm.
Yes, yes.
So, Masako, you've tried many different moves with many different yogis. Do you
Mhm.
have, maybe these days, do you have a favorite, something that you love the most, or something you are very, very good at?
Well, let's see. Let's see. Uh, I am not really good at standing hand to hand. So I went to Tokyo, and then Matt in Yoyogi,
Mm, mm,
he's super, super good at, lifting the girls.
mm,
So I
mm,
wanted to practice with him. And then I'm still
mm.
scared to jump up from the shoulder to hand. So I wanted to overcome my fear. And then he gave me the lesson and then I did it.
Wow. I was there when Matt was doing 100 flyer challenge and his abilities grew and grew. And I think the same day you did it, an hour later, I also had to try it. And I can already handstand, but I also
Mhm.
felt that that fear of now when I have to jump and someone is holding me, you have to put your trust in them and your trust in your
Yes.
spotters. So I feel more about what you're saying about it's important to
Yes,
fly
yes.
and base and try it all. Wow,
Hmm.
we've had a really great conversation, and I think we
Yeah, thank
will
you.
we'll leave it there. We'll end here.
Hmm.
And I want to say
Yep.
thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you
background,
so
your
much.
experiences, and it was such a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much. Very nice to talk to you.
Yay.
Amazing. Thank you,
So, for
everybody.
oral listeners, please try an
Yep.
acro yoga class in Kobe City with
Yes,
Masako.
please. Come and visit.